Let's move on to something a bit more light-hearted, shall we?
A white pill?
Yeah, no, not a white pill. This is
Get my hopes up.
a Christ pill. Actually.
Christ pill.
Yes, but not from someone called Lil Nas X, who I'd never heard of, but he recently caused a storm with a particular viral video and has become very, very famous. And I just think this is a very interesting person and a very interesting thing that's happened. So this is a chap called Montero Lamar Hill, and he was born in Georgia in 1999. So he's 21, right? And I think that's important. Remembering just how young this person is.
He's younger than me.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't trust this person with any kind of decision-making capacity because he's only 21. And, I mean, it strikes me that becoming ultra-famous this young is probably bad for a person and gives you a distorted view of the world. But anyway, Montero was apparently named after a car called the Mitsubishi Montero. I'm not surprised he changed his name to Lil Nas X. I would have done the same, to be honest, if I was named after a car. But anyway, his parents divorced when he was 6, and he grew up in a housing project with his mother and grandmother for 3 years when he was young. So at 9, he moved in with his father, who was a gospel singer, and he was living in Atlanta, and he was like, look, if I'd stayed there, I'd have fallen in with the wrong crowd, because there's a lot of bad stuff that goes down in Atlanta. So he didn't. He started using the internet heavily around the time when memes started to become their own form of entertainment, so around sort of 2010. Sort of 2011, 2012, that sort of time. The sort of like old rage memes and stuff were being popularized, and apparently he spent much of his teenage years alone and turned to the internet, particularly Twitter, creating memes that showed his disarming wit and pop culture savvy. So he is a product of the internet, but a product of Twitter. He's never known a life without the internet, without social media, and without using things like Twitter. And apparently around 16 or 17, he came to accept that he was gay. As you can imagine, if his dad's an evangelical and he's living with his dad, you can imagine how his dad has treated this at points in his life. But he's a musician and played trumpet until he was worried about looking uncool. Then he attended the University of West Georgia for a year before dropping out to pursue his musical career. As he says, I was doing Facebook comedy videos, then I moved over to Instagram, then I hopped on Twitter, where I really was a master. It was the first place I could go viral. So he's basically been someone who's been clout chasing his whole life because he wants to be a famous musician, and now he's achieved it. So good for him. As of February 2021, he had 5 million followers on basically each platform. So he's pretty big, pretty famous. So I thought we'd look at just, what some of his music was about. His first song was called Donald Trump, and it was released in 2018.
It's written in Cyrillic as well.
It's what? Written in Cyrillic?
Yeah, you see the letters there, they're Russian.
Oh, yeah. But this was released in 2018, and basically it's about a gun that he has called Donald Trump, because the gun hates black people, and so does Donald Trump. And in it, in this song, he describes going around and shooting black people.
Just like Donald Trump does.
Just like Donald Trump does. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically it. It's
how is it? I need a reason why I should clap. Yeah, that's what Donald Trump does. He just drives around saying the M-word, shooting people.
Yep. That's Donald Trump's life.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so the next song he released was called Old Town Road, where he apparently romanticizes the life of a cowboy. The character is unfulfilled by a hedonistic life of consumerism, substance abuse, and adultery. He also has dissatisfaction with the indolence of his peers, feeling no need to heed their advice. With nothing left to believe in or follow, the rider heads out, and the only destination being the open road. I mean, if we were to take from his lyrics an impression of his mindset, he sounds like someone who doesn't really know what he's doing and doesn't have any particular roots or ties to anywhere.
I agree. Sorry, I'm just laughing as I hear in the chat being like, yeah, he shot me in 2017.
If only we could get justice. But the point is, I find this interesting. Unfulfilled by a hedonistic life of consumerism, substance abuse, and adultery. Yeah, I imagine you would be eventually. Anyway, so we come to this Montero Call Me By Your Name song, which is the one where it's really blown up, and it's because of this very provocative imagery.
Is he being raped by the devil?
No, he's giving the devil a lap dance.
Stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave. So this features him as various characters in biblical and mythology-inspired scenes, following a voiceover introduction where he discusses no longer having to hide in shame. It's a very brave coming out of the closet as a gay man story, which, I mean, in 2021, it's like, wow, this is a bit odd hat. Maybe if this was 1990s, this would be impressive. But like you
It
are
is
not
literally
breaking new ground here.
like Little Britain, the only gay in the village.
Yeah, he
style.
literally is. Yeah.
Mafanwi, I have come out as gay. Oh, well, you can join my book club that's all gay.
It's like so really, really like old hat. But anyway, he portrays both Adam and the snake in the Garden of Eden. The two kiss and merge as the snake seduces Adam using its third eye. In the next scene, he's in chains at the Colosseum as he's judged by versions of himself, wearing Mary Antoinette wigs, and then he's stoned after his execution. And he starts to ascend to heaven before grabbing onto a pole, which sends him to hell as a pole dancer. And then he proceeds to give Satan a lap dance as he wears thigh-high boots with stiletto heels and Calvin Klein underwear. Then he snaps Satan's neck, takes Satan's horns, and crowns himself with them as his eyes glow and wings emerge. Edgy. I'm Satan now. Bravo. I mean, who doesn't want to be Satan, right? But what this really is a fantastic marketing scheme, because what he started doing is selling Satan shoes at satan.shoes. And if you... I mean, it's just like, am I meant to be shocked by this?
Okay, I mean, I actually kind of admire the entrepreneurship of that. Like, I'm going to make a music video and we need to make money. Well, we'll sell Satan shoes at the same time.
Guy knows how to hustle, I guess. I mean...
It's like a Gamer Girl bathwater, but just not as
kind
good.
of is, yeah. It's just provocative against the Christians. It's like, oh... I mean, they're quite nice looking shoes, I guess. But the thing is, John, if you can scroll down a little bit, you can see the shoe
There's a lot of
turns, right? And so you can see it's got a bronze pentagram on it.
Ooh.
And you can see all of the Paradise Lost imagery. Keep going down to the bottom, John. So you get a nice look of the shoe. Good
Nice
salesmanship.
website.
This is
Nice
very,
website as well. I mean,
very nice. Very nice. Great salesmanship, right? Keep going down, and you notice all the Milton imagery. And at the end of it, he's like, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. And
they seem to have worked. I mean, sold out. There's only one pair left.
absolutely. You've got you go a Twitter lottery to get the last pair. And you see it's got Luke 10:18 there, which is a reference to Satan being cast out of heaven. And yeah, so it's really treading old ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
This isn't
really
very-
old ground if we're going back to Milton. But it's also not new in modern day pop culture. I mean, the Christians are just like, well, we don't like it.
Reminds me of a post I saw. It was like 4chan. Someone posted, "Ask a Satanist anything," and
Yeah.
the first response was, "How's 8 years school going?"
Right, so these shoes sold out in under a minute, apparently, which is very popular. Which, I mean, there weren't that many of them as far as I'm aware. And the interesting thing about these shoes, apart from having a bronze pentagram and an upside-down cross on them, again, edgy, is that apparently they contain a drop of human blood in each one. Is that okay? But whose blood?
I assume his.
Well, we assume, but we're not told. So
It's just murdering kids out back. Like,
yeah, well, that's, I mean, I don't know, but that's the point, right? The point of the whole thing, the imagery, the drop of human blood, the upside down cross, the pentagram, the 1666, all this sort of stuff. It's basically to provoke Christians into thinking, oh, isn't this, dangerous and subversive? But the thing is, it just seems really over the top, and it was done by,
your Christian parents will hate this.
yeah, exactly. Hey, fellow kids, do you want to show the man? Join Satanism. It's like,
Mum, Dad, I'm a Satanist. It's like, yeah, I don't care, Timmy.
do your homework, Tim. Sorry, what's his name? Montero. But anyway, so these were a part of a collaboration between a New York art-based collective called MSCHF, and were made using Nike Air Max 97s. They were sold at about $1,000 a pair, and yeah,
Getting it for $666.
exactly, not even $666. Like,
Cheek.
well, just sad, really. I was expecting more edge. But anyway, yeah, so they contain 2 fluid ounces of red ink and 1 drop of human blood. Wow. That's so edgy. Gwyneth Paltrow is selling vagina candles that blow up. Like, I mean, I've got a drop of human blood in here. Big deal. I just don't care. Have you not seen how phenomenally degenerate culture is at the moment? Ooh, a drop of... Oh, I'm so impressed.
I suppose it is.
Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a goddamn bat.
I mean, no, but him having like a pastor for a father, he sort of probably thinks this is the edgiest thing ever.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the Christian kid who's like, oh, maybe I'll take a drink, and then drinks just like, haha, I've done it, Dad.
Smoke the reefer. I'll never do that. Yeah. Like, it's so... But again, he's only 21. What does he know?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, this will show my Christian parents. Oh, God. We're here again. But anyway, apparently it upset a lot of Republicans on Twitter, according to Pink News.
So
and being an internet personality, Montero decided to dunk on them. And these are just the best dunks that Pink News are living for, right? Needless to say, conservatives are furious. Nick Adams, an author and occasional Fox News commentator who's been endorsed by Trump, hit out at both the rapper and Cardi B, claiming that both artists couldn't last 30 seconds in a debate with conservative commentator Candace Owens. So he's not like saying, this is an affront to my religion. He's saying you couldn't out-debate Candace Owens.
Probably true.
Well, doubtless true. But, like, it's nothing to do with Christianity, is it? It's not him being like, how dare you profane the Lord? Because obviously, why would they? The atheists, the non-Christians have been doing this for decades now. Decades! Like, it's not new or edgy in any way. I mean, look, he doesn't even mention this. And so Montero goes, you can't last 30 seconds in bed with your wife. Okay? But that doesn't change the fact that you couldn't last 30 seconds in debate with Candace Owens, does it? You know, that doesn't change the fact that this is really old hat, does it? Next person was rapper Joyner Lucas, hit out at him for the music video, suggesting it was inappropriate because he counts children among his fans, where he responds, I literally sing about lean and adultery in Old Town Road. You decide to let your children listen, blame yourself. The Cardi B defense. I'm an adult entertainer. I do perverse sexual things for adults. Don't let your kids watch. Cardi B doesn't let her what kids watch, and he's right. You shouldn't let your kids watch either if you find it to be inappropriate for their age. Can't disagree with him there, but the fact still remains he still couldn't out-debate Candace Owens. He also epically shut down Caitlin Bennett, a conspiracy theorist and gun rights activist. When she tweeted that she was thankful to be blocked by him, he replied, I still see your tweets, S-pants. Because apparently, like, I don't know much about this Caitlin Bennett woman, but the left just keeps saying that she cracked herself. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but when? And it's like, they just say about her.
I think it's just a meme. I don't actually know.
Yeah, it's just a meme, but it's like...
She's the lady who turns up on campus with guns,
Yeah.
so it's just like, well, Second Amendment rights, let's have a debate.
Yeah.
It's not very radical.
No, not terribly radical. And the South Dakota governor, Kristi Noem, objected to him releasing these shoes, and she said, our kids are being told this kind of product is not only okay, it is exclusive. But you know what's more exclusive? Their God-given eternal soul. Finally, a Christian has come to challenge the theological notion that maybe you shouldn't worship Satan. We're in a fight for the soul of our nation. We need to fight hard. We need to fight smart. We have to win. And he replies going, you're a whole governor, and you are on here tweeting about some damn shoes. Do your job. Yes. So what you're saying, then, is that all the satanic imagery, the massive amount of effort that you put in for the shoes, for the website, to put blood in the shoes and all of this meant nothing. Just a pair of shoes, bro. Just a pair of shoes. All this effort, the video of me twerking on Satan, whatever it is just a pair of shoes. No big effort, no big mythology that I've built around it. And so it's like, wow, he's actually a grifter. Like... Yeah. And John makes a good point. When are we getting the Muhammad trainers? Because
I can make so many shoe bombing jokes.
but we probably shouldn't. But yeah, and so, I mean, maybe she considers that to be her job, providing, I guess, what she would call spiritual direction. Not being a Christian, I don't really care either way. Obviously, not being a Satanist, I don't care about that either. I actually find the whole thing kind of cringe. You provoked the Christians to come out, or one Christian at least, to come out and say Christian things, and then you're acting like, oh, what are you doing, bro? It's just some shoes. Okay, well, take the pentagram off them, and are they just the same shoes? Take the upside down cross off them. Are they still the same shoes? Take off the biblical references. Are they still the same shoes? Or were you desperately trying to provoke a reaction, and then when you got one, pretending like you weren't trying to provoke a reaction? It's just childish. But anyway, so this, of course, comes because he feels that his entire teenage years were spent hating himself because of what the y'all preached would happen to me because I was gay. So I hope you're mad, stay mad, and feel the same anger you teach to us to have towards ourselves.
Sorry, what do they actually preach about gays in the United States? I thought it was just that they burn in hell.
There is that, but there is also the negative aspects of the gay lifestyle that are real and do manifest themselves. Which is the fact that there's basically no monogamy in the gay community. There's extremely high rates of anal cancer and things like this. And it's like, look, these are just really unpleasant facts, but they're kind of true. And, I mean, you sit there going, well, what would happen to you because you're gay? Well, who knows? You're only 21. Well, I guess we'll check back when you're 25 and see how things are going. But, like, I'm not saying, I'm
It's
not
not like it isn't a different lifestyle.
yeah, it's not like, but it's not like
It's not to condemn it. It's just saying that there are different things.
But you must be aware of the consequences of living a certain kind of lifestyle, right? Because there are consequences. The statistics show this, and it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry that studies suggest that there are, negatives and drawbacks to being gay. I'm not saying you can change yourself or anything like that. And in fact, he wrote a letter to his 14-year-old self. I can totally understand that he will have, having a gospel singing father, been told you can't be gay, and God will judge you, you'll go to hell. He probably didn't bring up any of the sort of real world problems, but may have done. But anyway, he said, "Dear 14-year-old Montero, I wrote a song with our name in it. It's about a guy I met last summer." So the whole point apparently is about a guy he met. I know we promised never to come out publicly. I know we promised never to be that type of gay person. I know we promised to die with the secret, but this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist. Oh God, yeah, if only there was...
himself queer, is he?
If only there was a queer advocacy movement that had any kind of traction at all. It's not like every single company doesn't have a fucking rainbow flag everywhere. Oh, if only someone would go back in time and put you back in the 1980s where there may have been some stigma about it.
One day being gay will be legal.
One day people won't reject me for what I am.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's just feels so empty.
This also makes it remind me of a quote from Douglas Murray's book. What is it? The one about being gay, women, trans. What is it? I'm trying to. We have it on the bookshelf somewhere. Whatever. Anyway, it's one of Douglas Murray's books in which he's talking about identities, and he makes the distinction because Douglas Murray is gay, but it's not a huge deal of his life.
He doesn't sit there going on about it all the time.
So he makes the distinction is like there are gays like me, and then there are queers, and he just then rants for like 2 paragraphs about how he hates queers because queers are the kind of people who make everything in their life about being gay.
Yeah. Which is what this guy's doing.
This guy literally calls himself queer and is saying that he's coming out public to be that kind of gay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a dick in the ass, bro. We're not bothered about it.
No one really cares, mate.
Yeah, literally, no one gives a damn, dude. Again, maybe if you were back in the 80s and you had the satanic panic about Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe in the 90s with Marilyn Manson, and there's probably something going on in the early 2000s too, but by that point, everyone just didn't care. But he says, you see, this will be very scary for me. People will be angry. They will say I'm pushing an agenda. But the truth is I am. The agenda... Checkmate.
We wanted a mission.
Yeah. The agenda to make people stay the F out of other people's lives and stop dictating who they should be. Yeah, libertarianism. Got it. Sending you love from the future. Great. Good. Job done. Gay people can be accepted in public life.
Don't worry, guys. We've legalized being gay now.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, not everywhere. I mean, don't travel. Don't go to certain Arabic-speaking countries, obviously.
Yeah.
But, in America, you'd be fine. And European countries, you'd be fine. Probably South America, too. You know what I mean? A lot of the world really doesn't care. And I don't think you'll ever speak about those people who do care.
I mean, it's literally the Simpsons meme, like the one with Lisa where she turns up to the football team and she's like,
Yes.
I want to be the first girl on the football team. And Ned's like, yeah, we already have 3 girls.
Yeah, that's right. A girl. Yeah, you can join the girls. Yeah,
it's like, America, I'm gay. And it's like,
oh, brave.
Yeah, you and everyone else, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Just, I mean, I can't even imagine why anyone would care about this. But anyway, this created a massive social media furor, and Pink News were right on this. So yeah, Nas owns the world and we love it. It's like, well, then there's nothing stunning and brave about coming out as gay, is there? If the news outlet for gay people are like, yes. But the funny thing is, Nike were like, wait a minute. This isn't on brand. Not the gay part. Yeah, the Satanism part, right? It's weird. They're like, wait a minute. We didn't sign this off. And so they're suing MSCHF, the production studio, for making and selling these Satan shoes. So it's like, what? I mean, I honestly am shocked that Nike didn't endorse this.
Yeah, me too, to be honest.
Right.
I imagine they'd be like, yes, queen.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe that Nike's Twitter account were like, yeah, exactly, yes, queen, rainbow flag, Satan symbols, whatever. And then a link to the merch
But that's
store.
the new symbol of the LGBT movement, the Satanist pentagram. We talk about optics.
Basically is. I mean, good for them, if that's what they think is good.
Or maybe they're jumping in front of the LGBT movement being like, no. Keep the Satanists out.
But that's the thing. I'm sure that Nike have put up their own rainbow flag of diversity and tolerance. So, what is their argument here? don't profane the name of our Lord Jesus. What are they going to say? Like, I can't believe this wasn't endorsed by Nike.
This is a Christian gay server. Get off.
Anyway, so yeah, they sued well, in money. Well, yeah, but money, John's like, well, they're doing it for money. He's like, well, yeah, sure, but they were going to make a lot more money if they were just selling these shoes.
Just do the deal, you know?
Yeah, just do the deal. They'd make loads of money, doubtless. Yeah, I know, of course. But the point is, I can't believe that they didn't just get an approval from Nike. But yeah, apparently this is done without the approval and authorization, and the company said it was no way connected with the project. And everyone's like, oh, they're distancing themselves. Like, well, I mean, I would too, to be honest. It's cringe.
Someone in the chat is like, well, they were suing because, you know, only Xinjiang blood is allowed in our shoes.
But this is the point, right? So it's so weird. But anyway, yeah, so that's that basically. It's like, okay, this is really, like, it's weird and cringe because it seems so out of time. But this is a bizarre marketing. I mean, I guess it worked. You know, he's got millions of followers. They're all enjoying their pentagram shoes with a drop of human blood in, I'm sure. You know, Nike's suing because they don't approve. I mean, he's finally allowed to be publicly gay.
I think it might just come down to the amount of people that live in the West who are young and believe SJW nonsense. So they will happily just run along with everything that sounds like, yes, we're fighting the system, even if the system is in whole heart approval of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, haha, guys, we're coming out as gay. And then the system's like, yeah, we're doing that for 20 years.
Yeah.
More flags, please.
Here's a flag, yeah.
But they just want to be part of that. I'm on the right side of history. I'm fighting the power. But in reality, you're doing literally nothing.
But there's literally no power to be fought.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Instead, it's something we just, you know, the power that be, the establishment just makes money off this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, keep it going.
Nike's only complaint is that you didn't get authorization to sell these shoes. Yeah. Maybe you can just sign a contract with them. I'm sure they'll be up for it. If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.